Welcome to Litbit channel. Today we will see Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. Let's see the summary of the play. Analyze Antony's speech and show how he turned the mob against Brutus and the others. In introduction part, Mark Antony is a clever statesman and a good friend of Caesar. He is foresight enough to judge that Brutus is a famous public figure and has already won the approval of the plebeians instead of the censure after killing Caesar. Now it is up to him to turn the tide, which threatens to flow on the side of the conspirators. His funeral speech is a masterpiece of oration and very persuasive. He gained his objectives as he convinced every member of the mob of Caesar's innocence and brutality of conspirators. The mob against Brutus and the others. He entered with Caesar's body to win sympathies of the crowd and addressed them as friends. He repeatedly called Brutus noble and honorable to convey a sense of sarcasm. He referred to Caesar's will and told them Caesar had left money to each one of them. He contradicts the charges of Brutus that Caesar was ambitious by pointing out that Caesar had refused the crown thrice, had filled the coffers of Rome, and wept for all Romans. Not too scrupulous to stoop to deceit and duplicity as Brutus claims to be, Antony proves himself to be a consummate politician, using gesture and rhetoric to his advantage. He graphically displays all the stab Brutus and others have inflicted on Caesar's body and uses Caesar's body to exploit the plebeian emotionally. He made the crowd believe that Brutus was telling lies and whatever he had said might be questionable. In conclusion part, Brutus convinced the people that Caesar was killed or assassinated in the interest of the Romans, but Antony played upon the emotions of the crowd, who rose in revolt against Brutus, Cassius and others. He deliberately thrust the words immunity and riot at them and gets the desired results. The mob got very angry. Their anger caused widespread death and destruction. Antony was an emotional and sincere speaker who avenged Caesar's death through his skill of oratory. The mob is presented as a single mind. Does Shakespeare revise this aspect, or ordinary people like this? In the introduction part, the single crowd of Roman plebeians that gather after the assassinations of Julius Caesar is influenced by the words of Brutus and Antony. When the citizen first hear the reasons that Brutus propounds for slaying of Caesar, that he loves Roman more than he does Caesar, and that he and the others slayed Caesars to save Rome from tyranny and keep them free, they cheer Brutus and tell him to live rather than sacrifice his life at their demand. In fact, some want to erect a status of him, while others suggest that he become a Caesar. Shakespeare reviled. However, after the same crowd listen to Mark Antony's oration, they are easily moved by his rhetoric. Consequently, they begin to doubt Brutus and the others' noble deed in slaying Caesars. For Antony has raised suspicion in the crowd regarding the motives of the conspirators. As he kneels over the body of the Caesar, that he tells that crowd has been disfigured by traitors. Antony directs the crowd to the many and brutal wounds of Caesar. Further, Antony stares the Romans, suggesting that Brutus and the others won their inheritance for Caesars. With his words, Antony spurred the Roman crowd to riot, and they ran to set fires, tear down benches, break windows, and create civil unrest. In conclusion, for the mob is not rational but impulsive and changeable, and if enraged, it is a powerful source of mischief and danger. At first, the mob support Brutus, but after hearing Antony, they got furious with the senators and indulged in plunder and killing. The mob is vacillating, ignorant, and emotional. Compare and contrast the speeches of Brutus and Antony. Brutus' speeches is abstract and philosophical, whereas Antony's speech is more effective as he appeals to the basic instincts of the common man. These peoples have assembled in the form of mob. As Antony is a good speaker, he very cleverly directs his speech towards Caesar's greatness as a human being, using words and employing all the tricks of rhetoric. He moves step by step, wins the sympathy of the audience. He comes down the pulpit and stands among the common people, bears Caesar's wounds and makes them speak for him. Hence, he is able to rouse their basic instinct of revenge against the conspirator by telling them about Caesar's will. The Caesar has left his everything to them, and the conspirators call his ambitious. Antony proves to be strong in all the ways Brutus proved to be weak. His impulsive improvisatory nature serves him perfectly to persuade the conspirators that he is on their side, thus gaining legitimacy. Throughout his speech, he keeps repeating, Brutus is an honorable man. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. Whereas he does just the opposite, he is able to pursue the billions of the conspirators' injustice and gain more support. Thanks for watching, viewers, and please subscribe this channel.